Well, tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi nui ki a koutou, tēnā koe o hoa, tēnā koe Liz. Ko Ekant tako ingoa he kamahi te whare wānanga Waitaha. Thank you so much for having me. I do feel like a fraud, though, because, as Jeremy said, I'm from the University of Canterbury, and I'm in marketing, and I'm not a tech guy. I like tech. I use a lot of tech, actually. I kind of need to do this for the marketing, and if you will indulge me, get the first selfie from stage, so... Look how excited you are. No, that's fine. I will put that on the LinkedIn later. I study people. I study how people engage with technology. I study how people connect with technology and how that technology is changing us as a people. How we as a people can come together in a way that hopefully can utilize technology for good, but sometimes technology can be used in negative ways as well. What I do know about technology is that every revolutionary change we've seen as a species, every revolutionary change we have seen as a society has come about because people have had access to technology. Something has changed and has spread throughout what we do as a society. Now, some of you may have heard this analogy before, so forgive me, but if we go back a few thousand years, go back to Neolithic human age, where people were living in caves and hunting and gathering and basically just foraging for food, the average life expectancy of a human being then was about 28 years old, all right? Fast forward to the year 1900, after thousands of years of agriculture, of technological change, thousands of years of our practices developing, the average age of a person in 1900, the average lifespan of a human, was 30 years old. So over 20,000 years, we've only gained 2 years in life expectancy because of our behavior, because of our bodies, because of what we do. However, since then, in the last 125 years, that's more than doubled globally. I think we're on an average about 72, 73 years average, and then nearly tripled in New Zealand. Because not just of technology and medical technology, but because of the access to that technology. So I really love that your theme is not just about, hey, let's thrive, but it's thriving together. Equitable and accessible use of technology is what has changed our lifespan, has what's changed who we are. Most people in this room are probably above 30. Not everyone, so half of us should be dead, all right? Had it not been for accessible, equitable access to that medical technology. I am living proof of why equitable access to social elevators like technology matter and work. So I whakapapa to a small village in the north of India. I had to look up the population this morning because I always refer to it as a small village. It's about twice the size of Rolleston and Timaru. So blink and miss it village in Indian terms, quite a large town in New Zealand terms. But my grandfather, who grew up in that village, was the first person in our family to learn how to read and write. He had access to a primary school in that village, and he went to that primary school. He was the first person to learn and read and write. He had to go to the town over in order to go to high school and complete his education. He had to go to a different state to go to university. Now, in 2 generations, from my grandfather's age, from my grandfather down to me, I'm a professor in a flipping university, and that's how quickly technology, education can change lives. But what was different about my granddad is that he didn't stop at himself. He had every right to say, I've got mine. I have developed my own things. I have got everything I need, so I'll keep that for myself and become wealthy, powerful, everything else. But he chose not to stop there. When he started having kids, and he had a lot of kids, Indian, his first kid was a daughter, and he insisted that his daughter go to school. The problem was there were no schools that would teach girls back in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s. And so he had to negotiate with the local school to insist that his daughters could go to school. That school still exists in the town that my family lives in, and that school is still a co-ed school. He went back to his village, and he set up a high school there as well, so that the kids wouldn't have to go to the town over to get education. And his picture still hangs in that high school there, so people remember that someone made a commitment to get an education, come back, and give back. So as you are working with people around you, as you're developing your technology, as you're focusing on enhancing what you do, what I also ask is that you don't forget about that together word. Thrive and put it together. Because there's going to be people in this room and outside this room who can help not just develop your technology, but develop access to that technology so that everyone can benefit. So in the last couple of minutes, what I want to say is if you are going through your tech ethics class, I'm sure all of you have done a little bit of tech ethics. Level 1 is just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. I'm sure you've all understand that. Just because we can clone a dinosaur doesn't mean we should open up Jurassic Park, not without proper technology, etc. Level 2 of tech ethics is when we're developing our technology, make sure we're doing it sustainably. Make sure we're doing it in a way that doesn't exploit people. Make sure we don't exploit resources. Make sure we don't leave the world a worse place than when we started. But level 3 is where I want you to really focus as well and says, once we've developed what is the right technology to develop, once we've done it in an ethical, sustainable way, how do we make sure everyone gets equitable, accessible benefit from that technology? How can we make sure the benefits of what you are creating in this room can be felt beyond this room? Now, it might not mean that you straight away go to the ASX and IPO and then give all your money away, although I'm sure that would be great. However, it does mean that you might not see the results of your technological benefits in this generation. It might be a couple of generations away. So my grandfather died when I was 14. He never saw me finish school, let alone university, let alone go on to becoming an academic. But I know that I wouldn't be here had the access to education not been an important part of what he felt was his values. The same way, what I hope is as we go about into a thriving together community, that the benefits of your technology are usable, useful, and accessible to everyone out there. Now, I wouldn't be doing my job as a marketer if I didn't also say that one of the roles I have at the University of Canterbury is I'm the acting MBA director. I saw Liz, you're there as a fractional CEO. We put all these qualifiers in front of our name. So I'm just acting, you're just fractional, blah, blah, blah. But if part of your journey as a technological innovator, engineer, developer is to also become a leader, please come and talk to someone about what leadership means, what ethical, appropriate leadership means, so that you can be the next generation of leaders in industry, in business, in society, in the public sector, or whatever else it might be. To finish up, I wish I could stay the whole time. I saw the program, and I've seen some amazing speakers. Melissa, are you here? Yay! I was really hoping to give Melissa a hug because I haven't seen her in ages, but I just saw a hand wave. It could have been anyone's hand, to be honest. You're going to have some fabulous speakers ahead of you. Please connect with them. Please listen to what they've got to say. Please connect with one another. I cannot stay for the rest of the day, unfortunately, because one of the problems with technology is sometimes it gets delayed. So my wife was meant to have an operation yesterday. That's been delayed to today. So I'm running off to take her to hospital and take care of her. But I want to say thank you to Liz. Thank you to everyone here. Thank you to our upcoming speakers, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Kia ora.